Please, just make it fast, the CEO said impatiently, tapping her phone as the cold wind cut through the open parking lot. Her driver was late, the meeting had gone wrong, and her heels ached. She barely noticed the single dad standing nearby, holding a worn backpack and watching her shiver. He had been waiting for the bus after a 12-hour shift at the warehouse. His hands were rough, his jacket thin but precious, his only warm layer. He glanced at the little photo tucked inside his wallet, his daughter smiling in a school uniform 2 sizes too big. The CEO sighed loudly. "This city is unbelievable," she muttered, clearly irritated. "I don't have time for this." She hugged herself, the expensive coat she wore clearly more about style than warmth. The wind grew harsher, biting through fabric and pride alike. The single dad hesitated. He had learned to stay invisible. People like her never saw people like him. Still, something tugged at him. Maybe the memory of his daughter's cough last winter, or the way cold felt when it settled deep in your bones. He stepped forward slowly. "Ma'am?" he said gently. She turned, startled, her eyes scanning him with quick judgment. Before she could speak, he shrugged off his jacket and held it out. "Please, take this. It's colder than it looks." She stared, confused. "I don't need charity," she snapped. "Just make it fast," she added, clearly assuming he wanted something in return. Her tone cut deeper than the wind. People nearby glanced over, waiting for the awkward moment to end. "I'm not asking for anything," he said quietly. "You look cold." His voice didn't shake, though his hands did. The jacket was thin, faded, and clearly old, but it was all he had between himself and the night. For a moment, she said nothing. The silence stretched. Finally, with an annoyed exhale, she took the jacket and slipped it on. "Fine," she said. "Thank you." She didn't meet his eyes. Her phone buzzed again, pulling her attention away. The warmth surprised her. Not just the jacket, but the strange heaviness in her chest. She glanced back at him, now standing in a plain shirt, shoulders already tensing against the cold. "Why would you do that?" she asked sharply. He smiled faintly. "Because someone once did the same for my daughter," he replied, "and because being kind doesn't take long." He stepped back, giving her space, as if the moment were already over for him. Her driver finally arrived. As she opened the car door, she looked at him again. "What do you do?" she asked, almost reluctantly. "Warehouse work," he answered. "Night shifts, whatever pays." He didn't add that he was also the sole parent to a 7-year-old. The car pulled away, but the jacket stayed on her shoulders. That night, she couldn't sleep. His words echoed louder than her boardroom arguments. By morning, guilt had replaced irritation. She searched the area again, hoping to find him. Days passed, then weeks. She kept the jacket in her office, untouched. Finally, during a company visit to the warehouse, she saw him again, lifting heavy boxes, moving with quiet focus. Her heart dropped. It was him. She called for the manager immediately. "Who is that man?" she asked, pointing. The manager replied, "Single dad, never complains, always early, works double shifts when he can." The words felt like blows, each heavier than the last. She approached him, holding the jacket. "You forgot this," she said softly. He looked surprised, then smiled. "I hoped it kept you warm," he said. She swallowed hard. For the first time, she felt small. "I was wrong," she said, "about a lot of things." He listened, not interrupting. "I built this company believing speed mattered more than people," she continued. "But you changed that in minutes." She offered him a promotion. He declined. "I need stable hours," he said. "Time for my daughter." That answer stunned her more than his kindness ever had. She nodded slowly. "Then we'll build something that works for both." Months later, The company introduced family-friendly shifts, childcare support, and fair wages. Productivity rose, but more importantly, so did dignity. The single dad still wore simple clothes, but his eyes carried less exhaustion. On a cold evening, much like the first, the CEO stood beside him at the bus stop. This time, she handed him a new jacket, warm, sturdy, earned. "Not charity," she said. "Respect." He smiled, understanding. Sometimes change doesn't come from power or pressure. Sometimes it comes from a single act of kindness, done quietly, without reward. A jacket given in the cold can warm far more than one person. It can change everything.